There are quite a few consumables within Grounded, and often when eating them in-game, I've wondered, what would this taste like in real life? Or big life, or whatever. So why don't we bring them out of the game and try to make some into a real-life recipe? And where better to start than the very first one you would probably run into in your playthrough? An aphid roast. Firstly, I can't really cook in this form, so Max, do you want to help me out with that? Anyway, the first thing I needed to do was settle on a big world alternative to an aphid roast, considering that aphids are the size that they are. Based on just like the ratio of size to the player, I was thinking I could do chicken. But with that, aphids are green. So I thought that I could make a pesto mix and kind of coat the chicken with it before roasting. I made that pesto mix by toasting some pine nuts and combining it in a blender with basil, garlic, freshly grated Parmesan, and olive oil. I also wanted to incorporate kind of a sweet note to play off of the aphid honeydew thing, so in this also I added a bit of syrup and honey. I then coated the chicken in this mixture and got likely the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Bright green and chicken disgust me in a way that I only thought possible when looking at my buddy Evan. But I'll roast this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour and 15 minutes. While roasting that, I figured I could make a few things that would complement this aesthetically. Firstly, if I make some biscuits and add some food-grade activated charcoal to them, I think that would make it kind of a gray color and it would resemble pebblets. So I mixed together flour, salt, baking powder, and the charcoal before adding in the butter and really working it into the flour until it was crumbly. Then I added some milk and mixed it until it formed my dough. It was at this point that I kind of realized I added too much of the charcoal, as similar to the stereotype of a white Marine returning home to see his newborn for the first time. It's black! Anyway, those go off to bake. I also wanted to have an element of this resembling grass stalks, so I decided on leeks. I've never really had them before, because I used Depends. Anyway, I looked up some recipes and found one for grilled leeks, which had me coat them in kind of like a soy sauce, a honey, and ginger sort of combination alongside some like sugar and stuff. But either way, I brushed it on there and then grilled them. And now all of it is cooked, so it's time to put it on a plate and show you what I made. Hey, before we continue, I want you to know that I know the way I plated this initially does not look good. Will you get out of here? Well, actually, as he said, that was true. I really didn't like how this looked. So I went ahead and removed one of the chicken breasts and kind of arranged it a little bit differently. And I think that this is a better presentation of this kind of whole project. But let's talk about the taste. The chicken turned out really well. Roasting the whole chicken really keeps the moisture in, and that sweet pesto coating added some really nice flavors. I did figure out in this endeavor that I don't like leeks. So that part was kind of a bust. And I did know that I had added too much activated charcoal to the biscuits when they turned out to look like my friend Evan's childhood home, but tasting them really confirmed this, as they weren't good. I didn't know that activated charcoal would change the texture of them, and there might have been ways to accommodate for it and make it better, but I did not do them, and so it did not turn out good. But for aesthetic purposes, those worked. Just would not recommend them for actually eating. The chicken though, I would definitely make that again. Anyway, I really enjoyed making this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked it and have any other suggestions for grounded consumables brought to life that I could maybe do in another video, let me know. But anyway, peace.